Okay, we're recording.
We're recording. All right, 10 o'clock. I am once again your tertiary fill-in chair for the day.
We just got quorum.
Sweet. Seth is unavailable and Anya will be back soon, but not for today. So, we'll go ahead and get started. Everybody knows everybody. You don't need to do introductions, right? Somebody new online, Michelle?
Nope.
We could do an introduction here.
Sure.
I have, I mean, some of you know Jesse. I mean, you know Jesse.
Yeah, I think most of you know me, but yeah, I'm Jesse Lloyd. I'm the lead watershed inspector. So yeah, I just wanted to stop by and see what's going on with the other organizations and just keep the word out there that if anybody sees anything in the watershed, has any questions or anything like that, just to give me a call or pass my name number on to somebody else.
Okay, we'll start with announcements. I have one literally hot off the presses that just came through. Not really water quality related necessarily, but we just got awarded from NBRC for $100,000 for the countywide housing study.
Good.
Don't have too much else other than a reminder for the countywide strategic plan. As Doug and Dan have seen, we have a tree at the Fort O'Hara Ag Museum for the Festival of Trees themed on the countywide strategic plan. There's an opportunity to participate in the survey that's still open and leave a copy there in a box for Santa. So if anyone's going, I encourage you guys to stop by the tree. And then we have routine resolutions up this month. I guess I'm doing my report too. For all of our normal annual resolutions for HHW and such. Anyone else have announced? Anything happening exciting? No? Okay, cool. Old business minutes to approve. Everybody read the minutes? Anyone have questions, corrections, issues?
Move to approve the minutes.
Okay, so.
I'll second. This is
Okay.
Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
All right, new business. I'm gonna let Michelle take this one.
The chair and vice chair are up for re-election in January, so I'm forming a nomination committee. Does anybody want to be on it? Because if you're on it, then you won't be chair.
I'll be honest then, Michelle.
Or you can make sure you're not chair. Anybody online? I'll do it remotely, so you don't have to come in person.
I can help with that.
Okay,
This
thank
is
you.
Ann.
And Ani said she would be on it.
There.
Okay. So that's good. Thank you.
Okay, on to working groups and committee reports, communications and outreach.
Communications and outreach. This is where the tapioca is coming.
Yeah, told you.
We're rolling along, thanks mostly to Michelle. Getting blog posts out. If anybody, just a reminder, if anybody has anything that we do a monthly blog post, so anything that would fit in that, if you send it to Michelle, she can get it up on the website. And other than that, I don't have anything today.
The December newsletter is about finished. If anybody has anything, I can add it, but not necessarily. We got 5 articles, so that'll be out probably end of next week.
And then invasive species.
I don't have anything.
Right. See, agency reports. Health Department's not here, Parks is not here. Yeah. All right, I gave you my spiel, and I'm gonna turn the rest over to Michelle.
I did submit the data usability report for the Owaska Lake Tributary Program. I haven't gotten any feedback yet on it, hopefully soon, and I'm working on closing out our FLOPA grant for the year. We did get our work plan approved for next year. similar program, except we added a stormwater education program to that, which will include probably compost bins and rain barrels. So look forward to that next year.
All right, for us, November was a pretty busy month. Grants were due. So a lot of our staff is working with the local ag community and meeting with them and seeing what some of their needs are and writing the grants. We'll find out early next year, maybe on whether they get funded or not. They just take a shot. They're competitive. There's never enough money in the grants for all the applications they receive. So, but we put them in anyways. Still working on some fire lanes, around Wasco Lake, getting those knocked out. But as long as the weather keeps cooperating with us and we can safely get in and out of them and do work, it's a great time of year to do those. And then really that's, just helping some farmers with different concerns out there that, the rains are coming back again. Just trying to meet up with everybody.
You may get a call from Mayor in Moravia and possibly our consultant, Alma Brown, for their small projects fund down there. There's a building you're probably familiar with, the bookstore. It has a preference up above that backs up to a creek over there. She received some project funding to, fix up the building and stuff, but they're looking for some assistance with shoring up the creek behind the house. So I told them to reach out to you, to see if there's anything out there, what you guys would charge if you're able to get in there and do anything. So just a heads up that they might be contacting you.
Sure, appreciate that. We always work with everybody.
Hey, Evan?
Yeah, I don't really have much to report. Just working on some annual reporting for the DEC for our events. I don't have the number top of mind, but it will be in the December newsletter. So if you're interested, yeah, just preparing for some grant applications for the HHW program. That's about it.
Back to Dan.
This is the time of year for us where we have to do all this reporting back to Extension Administration, which gets sent on to USDA. So our staff's been focused on that for the last couple weeks. And then we're beginning to plan some winter programming as a preview of one of the things we're going to do with Partners for Healthy Watershed and the organizations involved in that on January 22nd. A meeting about kind of some of the expansion that's happening on farms, what's driving that, and then what farms that are both CAFOs and non-CAFOs, what rules they have to follow.
City of Otters not here. Roscoe's not here. We have anyone for Cayuga Lake?
Roxy's there. And so's Pat, or Roxy. And Keith. Where'd Keith go? I lost Keith.
That's hard to do. All right, Roxy, do you have anything for us for Cayuga Lake report?
I do, not a lot, but right now we're sort of focused on learning, education, I guess, more about biosolids, their properties, and disposal options and hurdles, because like many other groups, we've been asked to comment on the proposed legislation for biosolids, and we've just learned that there are some hurdles. So we've had a great presentation from Deborah Aller last at our November meeting, and that presentation should be posted in the coming weeks. And then in January at our next meeting, I'm hoping to hear more about the legislation and the state it's in now, and also maybe from one of the associations that has brought up issues about the practicality of implementing it as written. So I'll keep you posted on that. We have changed our meeting structure, so it'll be easy to participate. We're only going to meet every other month, so yay! Starting in January, alternating through that. Isaac is moving forward on the pilot TMDL implementation plan, and he's discussing several different grant opportunities with partners, a couple different municipalities and the Soil and Water District. So lots of things in progress, but not a lot of concrete things started or wrapped up in the last month.
Okay, thanks. Anyone have questions for Roxy? Or do we have anyone for Cross Lake, Michelle?
No, no Cross Lake, no Duck Lake.
All right, Lake One, we'll pat you up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, just basically, I've gotten some answers from our Summer Hill lawyer about, our progress, our questions on, doing a petition to start a lake, the special tax district for the lake, and, I've got a tentative meeting scheduled for January 10th. Meet with my board of directors to, start putting this together. And I've got to put some numbers together. Other than that, everything's quiet. Our lake is frozen solid. So, first, I think it's kind of early this year, but that's the way it is. Everything else is quiet up here. Thank you.
All right, sounds good, thanks. Little Soda Spay?
Yeah.
I'm here.
There.
Hi, Gary.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Don't have an awful lot to report. Our water this fall went down quickly. We think that had a lot to do with the fact that we had a dry summer, dry spell. And many people had to pull their boats out by early September, as I did. We've been in a project that is still in the finishing touches where we're installing fire hydrants along with, we partnered with Blind Soda Spay on this. So pretty much that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Wasco.
Yeah, good morning. Similar to Roxy, a lot is in progress, though nothing, this is just our time here for looking at planning. In education outreach last night, we had Tom Hughes from the New York State Parks, Rec, and Historic Preservation Program give a presentation on engaging youth and communities in watershed education. That was a very positive, engaging conversation we had. And I know Aula is looking to expand beyond just classroom to maybe some summer activities, doing more than what we've done. We continue with our newspaper articles and our online newsletter. There will be some leadership changes in 2026, and I'll have more to announce on that next year. Another positive, I mentioned last month, we've been busy with grant writing. This is the season for that. And received word yesterday of 2 sources. So it's just been word, nothing in writing, but Aula has been acknowledged as the recipient of 2 grant awards. And this will be targeting for our Hemlock Woolly Adelgid campaign, which we are in year 6 of 10 in working with that. So with that, that's all. Thank you.
Congrats, Anne, that's good news.
It is great news. Yeah, thank you.
Patty. The Atlas.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. Similar to a lot of the others, we're working on pre-planning for next year. We attended the 9-element clean water plan with the CNY Regional Planning Development Board to try to further the plan to getting in implementation. We're discussed with planning for CSLAP volunteers along the lake for invasive species and also stream monitoring. Working on a grant application development for invasive species prevention strategies at our public boat launches. The Hemlock project also moves forward. We're identified a number of other places, predominantly this year. The Hemlock treatments were on the south end. And we're identifying what needs to be done with that. City of Syracuse has noted some additional projects that we had previously worked on up on the north end of the lake that is impacting what they feel the water quality. And we're working with them to try to come up with some plans to put some stream buffers and et cetera in there. We are planning on, there's a Skinny Atlas Lake Research and Data Summit coming up in January. It'll be online with SUNY ESF. They spent the better part of this year mapping the lake and taking sediment samples. And hopefully we're going to see a comprehensive report of the results of that and where we need to go moving forward. And there we are. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Patty. Okay, partner reports. I don't see anyone from regional.
I've got his report. I'll email it to everybody after the meeting.
Perfect. Wheel.
That was Roxy, so she.
Oh, okay. Prism.
No.
All right. It looks like Emily's up. Emily, you're still on? Do you have anything to report out today? There you are.
Hi, sure. Yeah, I did just go to the Finger Lakes Prism Partner meeting. That was held on 11/24, and there was a pretty good showing, and they had presentations on the from Finger Lakes Land Trust and from Oswego County Soil and Water that they presented on the drone, using drones to control water chestnuts. That was pretty interesting. We recently launched a new website for coastal ecosystems that includes information about the Southeast Lake Ontario sediment source study. I know that's been going on at some of the bluffs. And I'll mention some of the study goals are to improve understanding of key sediment sources, sinks, and pathways, assess vulnerabilities of sediment-dependent coastal features, identify and analyze feeder bluffs like McIntyre Bluffs and the effect of shoreline hardening, looking at options for dredge material management and sediment bypassing, estimating offshore sediment loss and harbor structure impacts, and identifying opportunities to conserve and restore sediment supply to natural protected features. And I'm going to put a link in the chat so you can learn more about that. There's an interactive map that looks at these tracers that Ramble has put out along the Southeast Lake Ontario. I think one of the locations is Sterling Nature Center. That I think of interest to folks. And then we recently had, the work group meetings. We had a request for feedback on any of the minutes and sort of the notes from the breakout group discussions, and we asked for feedback by yesterday. But if you had any, final thoughts you wanted to reach out with to make sure, that's reflected in the minutes and the breakout group discussions, feel free to let me know. We're going to be working on putting together the draft work plans and trying to get input on those work plans for the Southeast Lake Ontario Great Lakes Action Agenda Subbasin Work Group. And so if you, had any thoughts for those breakout discussions to start thinking about including in those work plans, that's definitely helpful. Trying to coordinate with everyone in the subbasin on opportunities, especially those where we want to collaborate and identify more partnerships to support these efforts. So, and then I thank you again for the opportunity to present on the Integrated Watershed Action Plan draft at the last Cayuga County WQMA meeting. I especially enjoyed hearing everyone's connection with the Sterling Wolcott Creek watershed and the the stories about the connection with Sterling Nature Center, and hearing some of the questions related to public engagement and how we'll be evaluating success. I think that was really helpful. We are working through sort of the internal review process and integrating all the feedback that we heard from folks to get that draft report finalized and shared and work towards implementation. So that's ongoing. And thanks again for the opportunity to share this update.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily.
Morning, everyone. Great. So I'll provide some project and programming updates for the Wasco Lake Watershed Management Council. Many of you are aware that we've closed on our second nature preserve that was earlier this year. It's a 72-acre parcel in Venice. And our property boundaries have recently been posted. We still have some boundary signage. This is just an example of the boundary signage. We still have some boundary signage to post along the eastern boundary of the property. We also have been working on some of the design and permitting features of the Management Council's Stream Bank Stabilization Project. This is a collaborative project with Cayuga County Soil and Water that will be implemented next year. We've completed the 95% designs that are accommodating some of the permitting requirements that were brought to bear more recently for the project. And those updated designs and associated letter will be delivered to the DEC and Army Corps of Engineers in the near term. So really looking forward to getting everything planned and prepared to get underway with that project when the permitting window is open to implement next year. So also, we're collaborating among partners, including working with Michelle and with Aula on a grant proposal that's being spearheaded by SUNY ESF. And they're proposing integration of real-time sensor arrays to gain discharge data that would be concurrent with the Aula's tributary monitoring program. And those data would help us estimate loads to the lake, give us a better sense of pollutant discharges to the lake overall for those constituents that are being monitored throughout this program, so nutrients and solids. Some of you here are involved with the 9-element coordination committee, one of the council's committees that's driving the implementation of the approved 9-element plan for phosphorus reduction in the Wasco Lake. We've finalized our progress report. Again, thanks to Michelle. She has her hands in pretty much everything we do. The committee doesn't plan to meet in November. Those of you who are here and should be aware that we're not getting together in December this month. And when we next convene in January, we'll discuss pathways for circulating the progress report that we finished. I think it would be a great opportunity for education outreach and to be transparent with the community about everything that we're working on. We'll also discuss our 2026 objectives. What do we want to get after next year? For those of you who have been keeping an eye on or an ear to the ground regarding developments with the Cayuga camp, that's on the western shore of the lake. They do plan to reopen. There was a question about whether or not they would reopen for campers, and we've had some discussions. They're interested in doing some educational sorts of projects with campers in the future, and that's something maybe we could collaborate with Aula on to plan the camp towards that end. So let's see. We also were undergoing a bylaws update. Our bylaws are quite old, our organizational bylaws. And so working with the members of the board, as well as now wrapping up the project with some legal counsel, we're looking to finalize our bylaws for approval, maybe as soon as at our December board meeting. That board meeting will also offer an opportunity for the directors to suggest any changes for our objectives moving into next year. And then also, for those who are interested, of course, our board meetings are public. In January, we will host a presentation by the MRV group. They've been contracted through the Village of Moravia to construct upgrades at their wastewater treatment facility. And so we want to learn a little bit more about what they're doing there and what their expectations will be for discharges from the facility. And that's all I have. Wish everyone happy holidays. It's good to see you all. Thanks.
Is that everybody then?
Greg's on.
Oh, Greg's on. Oh. Greg. Last but not least.
Good morning.
Morning.
No report. Morning. No report. Dan took care of it, so that's it.
Aw.
Sorry about that, Greg.
Nothing exciting happening on the farm at least?
It's just getting cold and it's gonna not be a fun couple of days here with it being so cold, but we'll get through it. We always do.
So what you're saying is I need to come down and snuggle some baby cows to keep them warm?
Yes, please.
Okay. Twist my arm. Okay, does anybody have anything else for today?
I was just curious if
Yeah.
there's, with some of the articles in the paper about finalizing the county budget, is that something that's like nearly done? Is that done? What's the standing of the county budget?
The public hearing is scheduled for next Tuesday, the 9th. The final planned legislative meeting for the year is next Thursday, the 11th. So next Tuesday is the opportunity for the public to give their comments on any of the proposed cuts, anything they want added to the budget, anything at all about the budget is next Tuesday. And then the legislature will make any other changes they want to make between Tuesday and Thursday and hopefully adopt something on Thursday.
Okay.
Legally, they have to adopt something by December 20th. So they're giving themselves a target of next Thursday, the 11th, to get it done.
Okay. Thanks, Carrie.
Sure. Anybody got anything else?
Question, when are we gonna meet in January? Because the first is of New Year's Day. That's that first Thursday.
It's the second Thursday. We're gonna
We're
We're
gonna do
gonna move it
second
back
one.
a week.
8th, January
Oh.
8th.
Thank you.
All right, I'm looking at Doug for his favorite motion.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everybody.
Is this a record?
Thanks, Gary.